heard the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, can we please have a roll call?
Mrs. Eckert,
Here.
Mr. Franco. Here. Mrs. Gogol,
Here.
Mr. Greenlee. Dr. O'Sherrick,
Here.
Dr. Perbola,
Here.
Mr. Burke,
Here.
Mr. Farr,
Here.
Mrs. Arnold.
Here. All right, we will make the announcement that prior to tonight's meeting, we had an executive session for personnel matters and contract negotiations. Do we have any superintendent remarks?
Absolutely. Good evening, board and Tiger community. I apologize for our meeting starting at 7:30 today, but the meeting was pushed back due to parent conferences. Our parent conferences tonight went to 7 o'clock, and we wanted to avoid a conflict. All afternoon and this evening, we welcomed parents into our schools to meet with their children's teachers. Our schools, especially the primary center, were bustling with parents, but even here at the high school, there was a larger turnout than was typical. So we're thrilled with the parents that have come out to parent conferences today. It's so nice to see our families and staff, working together for the betterment of the children. I'd like to thank the parents for coming and visiting. I'd like to remind our families that tomorrow is a professional development day for our staff, and there is no school for students. I'm so proud to say that we had an exceptionally strong start to the school year. Our schools are operating with focus, efficiency, and enthusiasm. Mrs. Egan has been spending some time in our intermediate center recently during our administrative transitions, and she comes back to her office every day, energized by the things she's seeing. There are positive vibes everywhere. Speaking of our intermediate center, last month we hired a new assistant principal for the intermediate center because Mr. Grabowski has moved to the high school. And I'm happy to report that he is off to a very strong start. But I'm very thrilled that our new intermediate center assistant principal is here tonight. She was unable to join us last month as she was on base. She serves our country as part of the Air National Guard. But I want to introduce the board to Mrs. Kathleen Staffaroni. She's coming to us from Dallas, and we can't wait for her to start. Thank you, Kathleen. Here's some exciting news. Our own Katie Wisnowski, who is a high school English teacher, she was contacted by Governor Shapiro directly on Tuesday night. In fact, he called her cell phone. And she has been selected as a recipient of the Governor's Keystone Award. Katie was invited to a state dinner later this month at the governor's residence to accept the award. During the dinner, she'll be honored with a few other people from across the Commonwealth who do, and this is a quote from the governor, who do meaningful work to improve the lives of others. Katie is being honored as not only a teacher, but as the facilitator of the Code Red program that she started for young ladies here at the high school and at the intermediate center. And let me tell you, I'm very, very proud of Katie. She is the greatest example of someone that truly gives of herself and is fully invested in the school community. She's an asset to Tunkhannock Area School District. We're extremely fortunate to have her working with our high school students every day. She's an outstanding educator, and it's certainly worth mentioning that the Code Red program, for which Katie is being honored, got off the ground due to funding from our educational foundation, the Tiger Fund for Excellence. So that's how that got started, and the state then offered some grant money after it was already running. But thank you for the Tiger Fund for Excellence for getting that off the ground, but we're so proud of Katie. I also want to give a shout out to Coach Barb Sick. Her girls golf team won the District 2 title for the second consecutive year. Being back-to-back district champs is a huge accomplishment, especially when we graduated 3 seniors that are now playing collegiate golf. So we lost 3 seniors that play collegiate golf, and we won another district title. So great job, Coach Sick. Our championship team is comprised of Madison Walker, Maddie Bevan, Paige Spudis, and Katrin Kutkuchka. and all 4 girls are outstanding student athletes. Madison Walker also qualified to participate in the individual state championships by finishing with the silver medal at individual districts, so congratulations and good luck, girls. You know, college acceptances are already occurring among our seniors, and they are happening almost daily. If anybody follows Mrs. Wisnowski's site on Instagram, her English 161, she posts it every time someone announces the college selection. But the high school has a great tradition, which I love. Students stand in the hallway, ring a bell, and announce loudly where they have committed to go to college. It's fun, and it's very encouraging. I find it encouraging, especially for our underclassmen, and I love that we celebrate our students' accomplishments. You know, there's been a bunch of colleges coming on campus to talk with our students. In fact, just last week, you know, the University of Pennsylvania was here talking with our students and asking students to apply. You know, having an Ivy League school come to our campus to recruit students, you know, that's a big deal. It really is. It shows our great reputation for producing top-tier scholars. I mean, it's not uncommon for us to have kids go to Ivy League and top-tier schools every year. Many other colleges have been or will be on campus very soon. And let me tell you, October is such an exciting month here on campus. We have so many upcoming events. The homecoming bonfire, I mean, we're already in our 7th week of school, but the homecoming bonfire is next Thursday evening, October 9th. The next day prior to the football game is the annual homecoming parade through town, and that one's always one of my favorite events. I really enjoy walking with the parade, waving and engaging with our community members. And then for our high school students, the homecoming dance will take place on Saturday evening, October 11th. Haunted Hallways, which has been going on for a couple of years, will take place again at the administration building. Let me refresh everybody's memory, our music department spends well over a month setting up and operating a haunted house right here on campus. And Haunted Hallways will take place across 2 weekends at the administration building. Visitors will be welcome on Saturdays and Sundays. It's October 18th, 19th, 25, and 26. It's spooky, it's scary. I'm gonna tell you that a lot of it is set up right now. Summer Frisco almost had a heart attack today walking through the hall. Something jumped at her. And I'd be cautious about bringing small children. It's a little frightening walking through during the day. All proceeds from the event will directly benefit our music department students, and it really is a great fundraiser and a lot of fun. Finally, our annual trunk or treat will be held on Thursday evening, October 23rd. My team and I will be participating again. Great event. Everyone will have to come and see our costumes. This year our theme is Toy Story, so I have been roping people in to participate. Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head are sitting out there right now. Please raise your hand, Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. Thank you very much. So let's see. Bo Peep is there. Buzz Lightyear's there. There's a lot going on. I think an alien. Mr. Castellani, you're being an alien? Yes. Okay. So there's a lot of fun, but that's such a great event. You know, just to close, you know, this might sound a little strange, but I'm anticipating an exciting meeting tonight. Maybe that, I don't know if that's the right word for it, but you know, there are some agenda items that I think will produce some robust conversations tonight and some good conversations. So let's get started. As always, thank you very much for the opportunity to share a couple of thoughts.
Thank you. I just found out about this piece when I got the agenda. But I guess I'm being honored for 10 years of service as a school board director in Suncannon.
Yeah.
You guys hear me? Okay. You guys hear me? Okay.
Yes.
All right, great. So good evening. My name is Chrissy Griffiths. I'm from the Pennsylvania School Boards Association. The PSBA Honor Roll Program acknowledges school board directors who have demonstrated sustained commitment through years of service, beginning of 5 years of service. Recognition is given at 5-year intervals following the first recognition to honor their continued dedication to the contributions of public education. Serving on a school board is a significant responsibility. As you all know, it involves thoughtful decision-making, collaboration, and a strong commitment to supporting students in schools. This individual consistently gives their time and energy to help guide the district and support educational opportunities for all. Their efforts have made a meaningful difference in the lives of their students, staff, and the broader school community during their 10 years on the board. In addition to all they do here and their day job, they even give so much time and energy to PSBA. Prior to her position as the Eastern Zone representative for our governing board, she served as a sectional advisor, as well as several years on our legislative platform and bylaws committee. And on a personal note, it's been really great getting to know Holly and all of our travel and fun together, and I'm really looking forward to hopefully many more years at PSBA as well. So congratulations, Holly, on 10 years of service. Thank you. Have a good meeting.
Did you say good meeting or exciting meeting? Because those aren't always the same.
I think it's exciting.
All right. Well, I had, thank you to the PSBA. They've been a great support for this school district. We've found a lot of information through them. From the time that I got onto the board through now, there's always been resources I've turned to, and they have a lot of really great things that I believe that we've taken advantage of. And the school safety piece, the policy piece, I just have a random question before I was ever involved with the board. I would just call, before I was involved with the executive, the governing board. They're a great resource, so they've done a lot to support schools in Pennsylvania. On that note, I just thought I wanted as we get into these conversations tonight, there were 3 points I wanted to make, so just keep them in the back of your mind as we have all these different subjects come up. One, there is no state or federal budget yet. We have not gotten money from state or federal resources or sources, and we are managing that because we had a healthy fund balance that we can pull from. There are many other school districts that are taking loans with interest to pay their payroll and keep the lights on. So we haven't had to do that yet. Definitely would encourage state and federal leadership to get this figured out because it is going to hurt kids if they don't. The second thing I just wanted you to keep in mind is that we're going to be discussing some unconventional ways to try and address these financial stressors at the only level we have control over. And none of these things are politically inspired or ideologically inspired. At the end of the day, every decision that we make has to be about the stakeholders and the savings and being able to do what we need to do here, but pay the bills and not, drive our families out of their homes and things like that. So there is no political lean to any decision that we're made. There never is, but I just thought it was worth reiterating that statement. And the last thing, which I've seen on social media lots of times, and I just want to reiterate again, is that no matter what we do, none of these efforts are with the goal of lowering taxes. What we're trying to do is stop the bleed. That was the case for consolidation. That is the case when we talk about solar. That is the case when we talk about all of these things, that we are trying to make it so that when we do have to have increases, they're not the size of the ones we had to have this year. We've had years where we've had zero increase. We've had years where we eliminated a tax, so it went down a little. This was the highest increase this year that I've been a part of on this board. Anything that we're doing is trying to slow that down, but we're not going to move backwards, short of somebody discovering a diamond mine under school district property that we can start pulling from. So just to make that clear to the community, I know I've seen that listed a lot, that all of these things that we've done, we're supposed to lower taxes. That was not the case. That would be great if it could, but we're just trying to keep them measured and not have giant jumps year after year, which this board has been pretty successful in the 10 years that I've been exposed to how we do business. This year's increase was the highest we've had to do. All those things being said, public meeting, we are going to open for public comment on agenda items only. So if you have a comment on anything that's listed on the agenda, please come up to the podium, state your name and your municipality for the group, and then you're limited to 4 minutes. Do we have any public comment on agenda items?
I've got a couple of questions, Holly. Bill White. I see in tonight's book there's a lot of questions. This River Rock Academy in Towanda, isn't there any place closer than traveling that far for those kids? Do we have kids going up there? That seems like a long ways. We talked many years about travel time on buses and stuff, and now Towanda is over an hour away. That's a concern. And I see down the line, they're looking to buy a truck for the cafeteria. Is that coming out of cafeteria money, or is that coming out of general fund? I think I talked to John about some things there, one on the solar. But I tell you, I'm watching the way things are going with solar and with these data centers and AI. I think if I was doing this, I'd be working with a battery backup, because in 5 to 10 years, we're going to be running short on electricity. These data centers are going to clean house on us for electricity and going to raise prices unbelievable. And I think the surge during the daytime, that would be a big help, being able to store it at night and help use it in the daytime. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Any other public comment on agenda items? Seeing none, we'll move on to
Ms.
enrollment.
President Arnold, do you want me to address any thing of Mr. Widener's, or I could speak to him after?
I figured we could answer them when we get to them on the agenda, but if you wanted to address them now, you can.
I just want to say with River Rock Academy, that is for students that have a special needs, and it's a very specific placement for students with special needs. And no, there are not a lot of places that they can be serviced. It's for a very specific type of student. I won't say whether or not we have students there. I don't ever want to get into a FERPA situation, but I will say that if that selection, it meets a very specific need. I'll say that. It's not just randomly picked. The truck is being paid for out of the cafeteria fund, the other thing.
Enrollments are there for everybody's information. We continue on the trend of the last, 25 or 30 years. We're down to 1,938 students across the district. Any discussion on enrollment? Moving along, we have the approval of minutes from the 8:14 and the 9:11 meetings.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Eckert?
Yes.
Mr. Franco?
Yes.
Mrs. Goebel?
Yes.
Mr. Greenwood?
Yes.
Dr. O'Sherrick?
Yes.
Dr. Favola?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Farr?
Yes.
Mrs. Arnold?
Yes. Business and finance. Do we have a motion to approve and ratify the business and finance items as presented?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I would like to point out that among the bills is one for Commonwealth Charter Academy for $623,000 approximately. And there are several other charter school academy bills in there. And when you add them up, it's up around $800,000, which is almost 3 mills of taxpayer money.
Superintendent Doherty can confirm probably that I called him this week and said that I thought maybe we should consider withholding cyber charter payment until we got the state money, but we...
That won't work. I would love to do that, but they'll just deduct it from what we're going to have.
Eventually.
But I'll get on a soapbox about this every time. We budget $3.2 million annually for about 125, 130 students. Our cost for a cyber charter now is $18,500 for a general education student and $41,000 for a special education student. The rate of special education statewide is about 20% of students. In cyber charter, it's over 30% of students because they identify students as needing special needs when they get there. It doesn't take a great business mind to figure out why they're doing that because they can more than double what they're charging you. It is 11 mills of local taxes go directly to cyber charters. 11 mills. 12% of our local taxes go directly to cyber charter. The cyber charters in Pennsylvania, there was an Attorney General's report that came out last year. There is the 5 biggest cyber charter schools in Pennsylvania have a fund balance of $600 million. Commonwealth Charter Academy's biggest line item in their budget last year was land acquisition. Why is a cyber charter school spending the most money on land acquisition? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Quite frankly, they're stealing local taxpayer dollars. 30 cents of every dollar they take goes to advertising. If I told you I wanted to take $15 million annually and put it in advertising, I'm pretty sure this would be my last meeting. The bar is complete. It's apples and oranges. They're not held to the same level we are, and quite frankly, they're stealing from local communities.
Well,
Sorry.
we're off to a fiery start.
Sorry. I said it's going to be exciting.
Do we have any other discussion on the business and finance? And I say it at every meeting, but if you also are tired of being a local community that is paying for those, that small number of students to attend those schools that are performing below where our district performs, the people you need to be calling are local state representatives and senators, because they have the ability to make fair, reasonable adjustments to the way these things are paid out across the state.
If the governor's, and I'm not, listen to me, the governor's proposed budget has a lot, I went off on that previously, I'm not going to do that again.
Right.
But if what he suggested for cyber charter reform passed, we would save well over $1 million annually.
Right. Okay, well, can I get a roll call, please?
Mr. Franco? Mrs. Goebel?
Yes.
Mr. Greenlee?
Yes.
Dr. Oshirik?
Yes.
Dr. Perbola?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mrs. Eckerd?
Yes.
Mr. Farr?
Yes.
Mrs. Arnold?
Yes. Superintendent's report.
Thank you. A motion to approve the personnel report as presented.
Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second. Motion and a second, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Goebel?
Yes.
Mr. Greenlee?
Yes.
Dr. Oshirik?
Yes.
Dr. Perbola?
Abstain.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mrs. Eckerd?
Yes.
Mr. Franco?
Yes.
Mr. Farr?
Yes.
Mrs. Arnold?
Yes.
And my second item is motion to approve conference attendance as presented.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Have a motion and a second, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Greenlee?
Yes.
Dr. Oshirik?
Yes.
Dr. Perbola?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mrs. Eckerd?
Yes.
Mr. Franco?
Yes.
Mrs. Goebel?
Yes.
Mr. Farr?
Yes.
Mrs. Arnold?
Yes. Committee reports. Have we had any committee meetings that we need to share, or do we need to schedule any? Hearing none at this time. I know that there are some discussions that could change down the road, but if Finance, we're not going to schedule any right now. Unfinished business, solar. Motion to begin contract negotiations with SRE Greenworks for our proposed solar project. The district will be represented by McNeese and Wallace LLC. Once ready, a proposed contract for the project will be brought up to the board for consideration. So this vote is to move forward with the process, but there would be another vote before we actually entered into any contracts.
That's correct. After talking with our energy consultant, their recommendation was, let's start working on a final contract with SRE Greenworks, where we'll build in a bunch of off-ramps for us based on what's going to happen potentially with the federal credit. And with that, that also gives us some time to see what the feasibility study from Penelec is going to look like, and also if the federal credit is in fact still available, and not just available, but also being paid. We expect the feasibility study from Penelec to take approximately another 7 to 8 months. So we actually have some time.
Is there any other discussion?
And the cost for that, for this part is,
It's the same, offhand, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm sorry, I should have looked back. But it's the same rate we've been paying McNeese Wallace for we entered into an agreement with them
Yep.
for solar. I mean, I want to say a while ago.
yeah.
Whatever that, I'm sorry, off the top of my head, I just don't know that answer.
So we're just making a motion so you can enter into the negotiations. That's
Correct.
We're not calling the contract. So motion to approve.
Yep, second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Dr. O'Sherrick?
Yes.
Dr. Pergola?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mrs. Eckert?
Yes.
Mr. Franco?
Yes.
Mrs. Goebel?
Yes.
Mr. Greenlee?
Yes.
Mr. Farr?
Yes.
Mrs. Arnold?
Yes. All right, second reading of board policies. Motion to approve the second reading of board policies as presented. 626, the federal fiscal compliance, and 626.1, travel reimbursement for federal programs.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Dr. Pergola?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mrs. Eckert?
Yes.
Mr. Franco?
Yes.
Mrs. Goebel?
Yes.
Mr. Greenlee?
Yes.
Dr. O'Sherrick?
Yes.
Mr. Farr?
Yes.
Mrs. Arnold?
Yes. Moving on to new business, the first two items are for informational purposes. So we have the first reading of board policies. There are about 10 there or so. These are just updated for current legalese. There's no substantive change to how we're operating.
That's correct. No
And-
procedural changes though.
Right, and then the informational documents are there for the TASD visa account, the substitute teacher fill rates, and the right to knows. Do we have any discussion that we need to have about any of those items? Hearing none, we'll move along to the bus and van contracts. Motion to approve the bus and van contracts as presented.
Motion to approve. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mrs. Eckert?
Yes.
Mr. Franco?
Yes.
Mrs. Goebel?
Yes.
Mr. Greenlee?
Yes.
Dr. O'Sherrick?
Yes.
Dr. Pergola?
Yes.
Mr. Farr?
Yes.
Mrs. Arnold?
Yes. Item D, the engineering and design for the TAHS welding lab upgrade. So a motion to authorize CHA Inc. to proceed with the design, document preparation, and construction administration for the renovation of the Tunkhannock Area High School welding lab and welding lab exhaust system. Do you have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Mr. Doherty, do you want to give a quick, this is being paid for with?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We have received at least one grant so far for this project. Basically, we have over 10% of our high school now that take welding courses. By doing the welding upgrade, the upgrade to our welding area, our welding lab, this is going to allow us to apply for it to become a state-approved program where students could actually get their welding certificate before they leave Tunkhannock, and also then open up another funding stream for us through Perkins, so Perkins grant money. Mrs. Wood last year, or late last year, applied for a grant for an upgrade through the state. The state gave us $200,000 toward this project. We also have the company we work with in finding grants, Total Grant Services, is also seeking grants as part of this. But we also have, Mrs. Wood has made a great contact through BKV, and BKV is offering to buy some of the equipment to offset the costs of the welding lab upgrade. So this to me is truly an investment in our students, and it's really going to be top notch.
That's great. Do you have any other discussion on this item?
Will this eliminate students going to Elk Lake for their programs, or are they
Once we
different
get the state certification and as a state-approved program with the graduation pathway, there would be no need to go to Elk Lake for welding because it would essentially be the same program. Am I correct in saying that, Mrs. Wood? Yeah. Yes.
Good.
Any other discussion?
I mean, welding is truly one of the things here. It's absolutely exploding in throughout the community and as a career, but here in school, the kids want it.
Well, if you're doing right, nothing explodes, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, well, yes.
All right. If there's no other discussion, we get a roll call, please.
Mrs. Eckert?
Yes.
Mr. Franco?
Yes.
Mrs. Golba?
Yes.
Mr. Greenlee?
Yes.
Dr. O'Sherrick?
Yes.
Dr. Pervola?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Farr?
Yes.
Mrs. Arnold?
Yes. Item E, the building capacity and enrollment studies. We're looking for a motion to approve an enrollment projection study with FutureLink LLC for $7,500 and a building capacity study with CHA Inc. for $24,500.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. The previous one that we have had done of this was in 2015, 2016.
That's correct.
For the purposes of the consolidation. Ms. Doherty says that they were spot on.
They were.
But they only projected out about the 10 years, right?
They projected out 10 years. So over the last couple meetings that we have been talking about, declining enrollment. And before we will consider a significant upgrade to any of our buildings, we'd be silly not to, have a projection of what our enrollment is going to look like and what our building capacity actually is. I want to say, there's no plans on doing anything in the short term, but knowledge is king, right? So if we have knowledge, that's a great thing. The enrollment study was last done in 2016. I actually have a copy of it. It's almost exact with their projection for enrollment. They projected that in 2025 we would have 2,100 students. Now we had just under 2,000, but you got to remember this was done prior to COVID, before cyber was a thing. So if you take the cyber numbers and you put it in there, the number is almost exact. They do it based on birth rates and based on housing, and so that's, to me, this is information we should know. So this is what I think is one of the robust conversations that we need to have, because I think before we talk about any significant capital projects, I think we should know what our future holds. Because I don't see our enrollment going up anytime soon.
Is this the same company that did that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. In fact, I didn't know that, and when I reached out to them, they were like, yeah, we know who you are. We did your 2016 report. I was like, oh, great. I was like, can you send me a copy? They were like, yeah, sure. In their proposal, it lists all the districts they've worked with in the past, and we're listed. I was like, oh, great. Okay, there we are. So it's the same company that did the enrollment study. Our current engineer is the one that's going to do the building capacity study. So John, I believe they come in and they're going to measure the rooms and identify what rooms can be used for what specific purposes, whether it be special education, whether it be for CTE type programs, and then appropriate sizing of how many students could actually be housed. Right? Am I right about that? Okay.
What was the timing of completion? I was trying to find that, and I could not find
Oh,
it.
good question. I don't know the answer off the top of my head on that. I'm sorry. I will find out, and I will get that answer back to the board.
I mean, it was several months or so last time we did this.
The only reason I was asking was because we would want that to know, I personally would want to know the answer to that before we made any decision on solar.
Right.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that it dovetailed.
Wait, are you starting a rumor that we're going to close the PC?
Don't even say that out loud.
No, I did
Kidding,
not
it's
say
not
that.
true. All right. Great, any other discussion?
So how more specifically will we use the information we get? I mean, the PC is the building that will probably need upgrades next.
The PC or quite frankly, the administration building. Like when you look at all the capital projects we've done, it's not an accident that we've really passed over the administration building. Like I made a conscious decision when I got here that we were going to put money into building. When we put money into buildings, it was going to be where students are. And I mean, we kicked the can down the road on a lot of things at the administration building. So I mean, before we start looking at a boiler, which we're just, you know, John's rubbing his head right there when I talked about it. You know, we got to figure where we're going to invest money, and I don't want to certainly make decisions that are uninformed, especially when we're talking about, you know, using tax dollars and state dollars. The administration building, I mean, the first floor, we could have a haunted house that they could set up for a month because the first floor is practically vacant. So that would be, you know, certainly one item. Because to say like we couldn't be housed in a school is probably not true.
And I believe that many of the administration that are in the admin building right now probably would prefer to be in a school building where the students are.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe not all,
we
yeah.
could absolutely make it work. But I mean, a lot of that is what's our enrollment going to look like and what's our actual building capacity.
Right. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Franco?
Yes.
Mrs. Colville?
Yes.
Mr. Greenlee?
Yes.
Dr. O'Sherrick?
Yes.
Dr. Pavola?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mrs. Eckert?
Yes.
Mr. Farr?
Yes.
Mrs. Arnold?
Yes. All right. Letter F, the grant program for current cyber charter students returning to TASD. We'll be looking for a motion to approve a one-time $2,000 grant award program for current cyber charters per current cyber charter student for those who elect to return to in-person instruction or enroll in our district cyber education program, Fusion C3. Do we have a motion and a second?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, so some background on this is that there are other districts in the state who, as I said in my opening this evening, there are certain limits to what we can control locally on how we're going to handle these situations. So as Superintendent Doherty said, we pay $18,500 to a regular education student's education through a cyber charter and $41,000 to a special ed student's education. So what we will be voting on is whether or not we want to follow the footsteps of a couple other districts in the state and offer a one-time $2,000 grant to bring those students back. There will be caveats. The student will need to have been out for a certain period of time to a cyber charter. It's not like you can just pull your kid out and get $2,000 next week. Also that I believe we were planning that we would pay this $500 per quarter. So if you bring them back for one quarter and get $2,000, that's not how it's going to be. You'd have to get the full $2,000, you'd be here for the whole school year. But this is, it seems like it would be low risk in the sense that if we bring back one student, it costs us $2,000, but we saved $16,500 of taxpayer dollars on a regular education student, and it would be a savings of $39,000 on a special education student. So that is what we're voting on. I believe that we will be one of the first ones on this side of the state to do something like this. I heard about it when I was in Washington, D.C. for the CASBA Advocacy Day. We were talking amongst some of the other school leaders that were there, and they mentioned a couple schools out in Western PA that had already done this. So that's kind of the background. Do we have any discussion on this?
So the school districts that have done this, what percentage rate came back?
They just did it for this year, so it's still kind of being rolled out, but it's, you know, a handful so far. But if we got 5 regular education
Yeah.
students, that's, you know,
I talked to the superintendent at one of them, where Mrs. Arnold had contacted me and said, hey, I just heard about this, look into it. So I Googled it, I found a district that was doing it, I reached out to the superintendent, and I just said, hey, can you send me anything you have? I mean, we just want to take a look at it. And he sent me their cover letter, which, you know, ours is very similar. The one that's in the packet is very similar to theirs. And, you know, he told me they offered it to families that had been out for at least 1 calendar year in a cyber charter. And and they're a smaller district than us. They spend about 1.2 million annually to cyber charters. But they saved about $50,000 this year doing that. So I'm guessing they probably got about 3 students back, which is still $50,000 to the good. You know, when President Arnold first told me about this, I didn't know if I hated it or I loved it, to be quite honest. And the more I sit back and think about it, it's like, it's kind of brilliant, right? It's a workaround, because the school districts that did this on the western part of the state got a response from the Cyber Charter Association that was, ironically and kind of comically, like saying that the superintendent was not being fiscally responsible with taxpayer dollars by offering this, which is like a kick in the teeth, because Reach Cyber Charter gave $4.3 million in gift cards to students from 2020 to 2023. So that's what we're going against. I'm not against it. I think it's a unique idea. I can almost guarantee we're going to get some press over it, and maybe that's a good thing.
well, listen, it is not my preference that we have to think about doing these kinds of things to try and resolve some of these issues or make a dent in it. But the fact of the matter is that the state is not handling this situation. They are not taking meaningful action, and it is at the detriment of property owners, students, school districts. So if this is what we are, to the point where this is what we have to do, then this is what we have to do, and let it get their attention if they want it to.
If the state actually tackled cyber charter reform, we would never be talking about this.
Never be talking about this.
Well, I guess just financially, if every one of our cyber charter kids came back, we would save money by paying it. Just the math.
Immensely.
Millions.
Right, so,
I think it's
right, but I mean, if everyone, so you save so much money, it's a money-saving thing.
It's important to point out, too, that we're not just resorting, to my knowledge, too, unless I'm misinformed and somebody can correct me, we're not just jumping to this. We've reached out and we've taken a door-knock approach to physically talking to these families. We're not just saying, okay, we're going to pay you, and we're not just going to. We've actually gotten some students back, too, have we not?
Yes, my team. That's what they do every summer. They call families and they invite them into schools, and we get them in for tours, and we are pretty successful at getting some families back.
So this is a second approach to the.
I would say it's probably like the 4th approach.
Well, so
right?
to all the people that are watching or choose not to watch this and want to talk about this tomorrow, like, this isn't the first stop at this.
No.
And listen, there's a Yankees game. I won't go too long here, but sorry, Bert.
It seems as that's not true.
But it is important to understand that when we have dug into these things, we have found students that Tunkhannock School District is paying for to attend cyber charter who do not even live in Pennsylvania anymore.
That's true.
They moved out of Pennsylvania, went to other states where we are still paying for them to attend cyber charter. And when we were reaching out and doing some of these residency checks, the cyber charters reached out and slapped our hand and told us we weren't allowed to do that.
That's true, too.
And told families they didn't need to answer us. And that is not acceptable.
Do you know that last year they put a stipulation in for the cyber charters that said they have to put eyes on a student weekly? And CCA is just refusing to do it. No, they said, no, we can't do it. And there's been no recourse for that.
Right. So this is not going to solve the problem, but this maybe helps us save a little bit of money.
So they can go to our cyber?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or in person?
Yes.
And there's
Or a hybrid.
Okay, and there's caveats to this, like they can't just, like, next August say, hey, I'm going to put my kids in cyber charter, or give me $2,000.
But if they leave again in a year,
Okay.
we still would have saved 14,
I got you.
14 to
They're coming back.
20,000 this year.
These are the ones that are coming back now,
coming
this year.
back.
Okay.
But I think you're bringing up a good point, though, which is I don't plan to, if I vote yes tonight, I'm voting no anytime it comes up in the future. Because I want to make sure we're not encouraging people to.
Right.
This is sort of like a one-time, let's see if we can.
Yes,
make this work.
this is this year.
Right,
Yeah.
this isn't going to happen again
This
next
is just,
year.
this is just this year.
And-
The
This year.
students
Now,
are
I'm
out
not
there
saying,
now.
hopefully things change by next year. Maybe next year we're having this conversation, but the caveat that we're putting out there is that if you've received this grant from the district, you can't get it a second time for that student. You know what I mean? Maybe it's talking about students who didn't come back this year, but they have a change of heart next year, they'll consider it. And we have never paid for that student to come back. So I'm not gonna say I won't wanna make this, but there's so much that could happen between now and then. Maybe the state figures this out and we don't even have to have this conversation. But for now, I'm perfectly content saying, this is a one-year offer this time, and this does not guarantee anything for anything beyond this year.
And quite honestly, I don't know if we would have any families that would take advantage of this.
Right.
Because we have contacted these families on multiple occasions. Some of the families that are in cyber charter have never come to a school. And more than likely, they're not going to.
That's right.
So I'm not even saying this will get anybody back, and if that's the case, then it cost us nothing. I will say that one of the biggest benefits that might come out of this is the attention we're going to get from it.
Right.
I mean, maybe it's going to make some waves in Harrisburg.
The attention, somebody.
I guess it's better than your $15 million advertising budget you mentioned before.
Yeah.
Cheaper, for sure.
I mean, I certainly understand the hesitation, and I get it, because that's the way I was with it also.
But listen, cyber charters, I've said this before, have a place. They serve some children very well for the situations and circumstances that their family is in. This is not an attack on the concept of cyber charters. The problem is the way it's paid for and the way that those prices are determined and the absolute refusal of the state to do anything to address it, to the point where it is bankrupting school districts. Has not bankrupted this one yet, but if we had $3 million back, we're not raising taxes for a while. So, I mean, that's just the long and short of it.
So my question, just looking at it here, and I agree with everything we've said, and I'm glad we pointed out the fact that we've taken that approach. What brought on the $500 per quarter versus the $2,000 just at the end of the year to ensure that we have a student that comes back, makes the full year, here's your money?
That's a great question. Literally, from my point, because I copied off what they were doing.
Yeah.
We could take that approach.
So what some of the cyber charters are allowed to do is pay for students' dance lessons, piano lessons, home internet, all of these things. So when a family comes back here,
They lose money.
they have to pay for this stuff now out of pocket. So that was part of the reason I believe that they've been doing this in a staggered fashion to help get over that hump of now they're paying for their own home internet and now they have to pay for their own dance lessons and pay for all those things. And they do that under the guise of it's, their phys ed or it's this or it's that, it's their music class. And it is happening around here because I've gotten contacted by local people who have had dance studios and things like that in the area saying, they're asking me for documentation to send into the cyber charter so they can get reimbursed for all of their dance classes. And that person at that time said they weren't going to participate in that, like that local business owner. It's like, wait, that's my own tax money coming back. So
One of our neighboring superintendents about a month ago told me he did the same thing. He's been reaching out and having his staff reach out, and he talked to a mom that said, we will gladly send our children back, but you have to pay for the pitching lessons because the cyber charter is currently paying for my kids' pitching lessons.
Right. And to be clear, the cyber charter school, it doesn't have a nonprofit that's giving dance lessons. It's our taxpayer money that's funding some children's dance lessons and some children's sports and some children's whatever, right?
Correct.
Just to make it very, very clear.
That's correct.
So that's the impetus behind chunks of money.
They contribute nothing to our extracurriculars, correct? Like
Nothing. Nothing. Nothing.
But they can sponsor football teams.
What's that?
But they can sponsor football teams.
But, if the child lives here, they come with us. So if a child goes to CCA but lives in Tunkhannock, they would play football for us.
They would what?
play football for us.
Oh, correct.
So,
wanted to play
so we
sport,
actually
yeah.
would lose money more then?
Yes.
Right.
So the all-in weighted cost of the cyber charter stuff when
Right.
it comes
And
to
so-
extracurriculars is an unknown number because you couldn't put a figure to it.
No. And like I said, with CCA, during that Attorney General report, again, they looked at from 2020 to 2023. I talked about land acquisition. They bought $196 million worth of land in the 3-year time frame. That's taxpayer money, $196 million that CCA acquired land.
Well, it's not hard to understand why they want to buy land. I don't know, John, what's a better investment?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So I would like to say also, Paul, like I agree that my first thought was like, absolutely not. But financially, it makes sense, number one. And number two, like I don't think it's gonna get, well, if every one of our cyber charter kids came back, yay, we'd save a ton of money. I don't think it will, but it also doesn't cost a lot of money for us to at least be able to say like, this is an option to think about coming back to Tunkhannock, and you have to stay for a year, so it's you have to put there's some skin in the game to get the money.
Are we proposing this late in the year? I mean, would early August be a better time to suggest this?
I mean, probably, but I didn't go to Washington DC until September, so.
Yeah. And I'm not saying not do it.
Right.
I'm saying that this may be handicapping the results we get.
It could.
It could, and that's a discussion we could have for next year. We could see if that's any of the feedback that we get back about it.
I mean, we could try it for the second semester and cut the amount in half. We could do this for implemented in next school year.
Or,
I mean, this
or
is,
you can even do like a calendar
Calendar
year
year
unless
starting
the
January.
student graduates, right? I mean, I don't know why you'd want to do that, but.
And I mean, we're not gonna go, like, if a parent wants to bring their kid back in the last week of October for $2,000 for the year, I don't think that this is worth splitting hairs over to save $16,500 for a regular ed student, right? Like,
Yep.
I don't want to split hairs over $250 or $500, like by prorating it or something like that. If you bring your kid back, by this point, you get the full $2,000 for the year. If it's by this point, you get $750, that's right.
Yeah, if we're going to implement, if we're approving it, I think we throw it out there now
Yeah, I agree.
and not splitting hairs.
Yep. I think it's more about the response it's going to get.
See what we do. We're going to learn.
I
We're gonna
agree
learn
with
the
that. I
feedback.
think that's the biggest benefit is we're going to get some attention.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great.
Yep. And
So-
hopefully other schools do it as well.
So my biggest concern is we're hearing about this for the first time. The public's hearing about it for the first time. They have information on it. I view it as we should hold off till next meeting. Get a little feedback from people. See what our constituents feel about it. Then reconvene on it.
Have we got any feedback professionally from like who you've vetted and who you've talked to? Has there been any negatives that we should talk about or what?
No, just the cyber charters are talking to the media saying, that this.
That's the negative we want.
That's correct. Like, they're actually getting the response they want from the cyber charter.
But nothing else?
No, they said, like I said, the one gentleman I spoke to, the one superintendent, they got 3 students back. And so they are invested, $6,000, and they saved about 50. It was not a huge impact. It was nice to get the 50,000, but it worked for the 3 families. I mean, there's no long-term data to show if the students stay or not, because if they leave, you can't, you have to allow them to leave.
Right.
You can't force someone to stay.
And that's fine, because if they come back and they get $500 and then they leave, then they don't get the other $1,500,
But we would have saved the money while they were here.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get the hesitation. I really do. And I don't know if this will pass or it won't. This is one of the things when I said we're going to have a robust conversation, I knew this was the item. That I don't know. I don't know if it's the right thing or the wrong thing. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I know it's different and outside the box. And
As it is.
We would even save money if it was part of the year.
Right.
Right.
What'd you say? Here?
He said we'd even save money if it was only part of the year.
So if it was,
Oh, yeah.
Right, it's prorated.
So, I mean, I think that it would be, there's nothing saying that we try this, and there's something that comes up and we say, you know, this is not, we need to pull this right off, you know, we could pull it off in November if we needed to.
If they pass a budget in 2 weeks that has cyber charter reform in it, we're not going to do this.
Right.
Well,
You
I don't
know
see
that's
a
not gonna
downside.
happen.
No, but that also
I don't
plays
see a
in.
big downside.
That also plays into what Andy said too. I mean, I don't want to wait either, but if they do pass a budget and this becomes old hat,
Yeah, the flip side, and I agree with what Andrew's saying, it'd be great to get some additional feedback. That I'm sensitive to what Phil's bringing up of, we're already late into the year, and so that's going to limit us. So totally respect what you're saying, Andrew. I
Right.
worry about if we're going to do it and we wait another month, it's going to make that problem
Yeah,
worse. But I
it's
totally
a
get
lot
it.
of it's a lot of information to digest, not just as us, but as a community as a whole. Because I get the savings we get. We're going to save $16,000 for every $2,000 we spend. However, that's still $2,000 of a taxpayer that we're spending to get a student back.
It's not going to be
But
popular with families
what
that are
about
already here.
everybody else is here?
I want to be
Okay.
cognizant of that as well.
It's kind of like a kick in the face to a normal person that sends their kids to the public school. And that's just the way I'm viewing it. I get it, and I understand the savings, and I think it's a good idea. However, it's a gray area, I would call it.
I mean, if people want to show up at a meeting and talk about it, if they want to send an email to talk about it, I'd be on board. What I'm really not interested in is just polling Facebook on, you know, whoever feels like throwing out commentary on it
No.
and then trying to make decisions based on that. So I'm still more inclined to, I mean, everybody can vote for themselves. I'm more inclined to vote yes for this. And this is just approving this program. That doesn't mean it has to be implemented.
That's correct.
The letters can be sent out. Maybe we get no response. Maybe we get like 6. Maybe, you know, I don't think that there's a harm in approving it this evening. And then if we want to revisit it, I mean, I would absolutely want to put an update on November's meeting to see what we've done. Did we send out the letters? Did we, like, what was the next step? You know,
You know, I will take, you know, I mean, the board fully knows, I will take any direction on this that the board gives me. You know, my hesitation on this is right with kind of Director Franco. The last thing I would want to do is alienate our school community, because we do have an outstanding school community that is very supportive. But I think our school community also gets it, right? They see that a lot of their money is going somewhere outside of this community. So, I mean, I get the argument on both sides. I really do.
I mean,
Paul.
it's
I'm
$4
not a-
million that our kids aren't getting, that a small chunk of students are getting, the equivalent of 11 mills.
Plus their stuff paid for, their extracurriculars paid for, plus if they want to be in chorus, they can use ours or whatever, band or what. So like, to me, it's,
Paul, so earlier when we voted on paying bills, there was the bill for cyber charter, correct, that we agreed
Yes.
to pay. Is that a yearly, or how do we pay them?
Christine, how often do we pay the cyber charters?
It's quarterly, I think.
What's that? Every month.
Month? Okay.
Oh, that's a
But we haven't had a meeting in a couple months, so that's probably a couple months worth of bills.
Right, I was just wondering like how that billing cycle works with if we were proposing $500 a quarter, how does that line up with like
Yeah.
the billing cycle?
I'm not opposed to the idea. My only concern is that, because we're starting late, we may not get the response we would like. I would kind of compare it to a thing in the banking that, you know, banks will give special rates for new money on CDs. So it's money they've had CDs in there already, but to get the special rate, they're asking you to bring new money in. To me, it's comparative to that.
We'll give them a toaster, too.
Spoken like a true banker, Phil. Well done.
Banker.
Well, I don't know if anybody's tried shopping their electricity, but you get the same deal there. Like the first 3 months, you might get 8.6 cents, and then it's going to jump to 11 cents or something like that.
Wait,
So-
you can shop electricity where you live? I just get told this is what you get.
Well, I think you're allowed to shop,
generation.
well, maybe, I don't know how that works.
The generation piece.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
generation piece, like
Yeah.
you can shop, you know,
For
I do it every
transmission,
3
yeah,
months.
Yeah, no.
But anyway,
There's nobody coming out there.
are we ready to take a vote, and whichever way it goes, it goes?
Yes.
Do you have a motion?
Yeah, I think we
Yeah,
had a
there was a
motion and a
motion.
second.
Okay.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mrs. Vogel?
Yes.
Mr. Greenlee?
Dun, 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 dun.
No.
Da, 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 da.
Yes.
Dr. Pavola?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mrs. Eckert?
Yes.
Mr. Franco?
No.
Mr. Farr?
Yes.
Mrs. Arnold?
Yes. Okay, we'll get an update on that for the November meeting and
Yes.
It'll be interesting. See what the feedback is.
it'll be interesting or it'll be nothing. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
there's nothing I would prefer than for us to be able to not have to deal with that kind of crap because the people who make the decisions about the money in Harrisburg get their act together and do what they need to do. Which I want to just say that Lisa Baker has been a big supporter of having
Huge.
common sense cyber charter funding reform.
Huge.
So she's doing her part, I believe.
Yeah, she's with us on this.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, a bid for purchase of a cafeteria vehicle. Motion to accept the bid from Sherwood Chevrolet in the amount of $38,008.58. The district's cafeteria fund will be used to purchase the vehicle. The bid was submitted through the RFP process. This is not money that we can spend on anything outside of the cafeteria stuff. So it's not like we're doing this instead of paying salaries or something to that effect.
Motion to approve.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
Oh, so Paul, do you just want to explain what the vehicle would be for? Like why the cafeteria needs a,
We have to
Yeah.
deliver food to Mahoopany. We work with 3 agencies that rent Mahoopany, and they buy food through Mets, through us, and we have to get the food up there in certain containers. So we thought we do have a very healthy cafeteria fund, and as President Arnold said, we can only spend that on very specific things. And this is an ideal situation. Instead of shutting down one of our other vehicles and taking it out of the hands of our maintenance crews to go deliver food, they could just have their own vehicle specifically for that.
and then the 3 entities at Mahoopany are Hands and what
Hands,
again?
Head Start,
Like
and
how-
Luzerne Intermediate Unit.
Oh, LIU, right. So
Our-
we have students that are feeders into our school and students from our school up there instead of going
That's
elsewhere.
correct. And they all pay us rent also
Yep.
for being there.
And this is a service we're already providing. This is just giving us a designated vehicle so we don't have
Correct.
to take from another area of the school.
Correct. You're 100% correct.
And I assume the cafeteria says a truck is the right vehicle, not a van or something like that.
John Shapolsky told me the truck is the right vehicle.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
It's what they need.
Okay. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Greenlee? Yes. Dr. O'Shea?
Yes.
Dr. Pavola?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mrs. Eckert?
Yes.
Mr. Franco?
Yes.
Mrs. Vogel?
Yes.
Mr. Farr?
Yes.
Mrs. Arnold?
Yes. Item H, the overnight out-of-state field trips are there. We're looking for a motion to approve the overnight out-of-state field trips as presented. I see Disney World on there for the high school band.
Yep.
I see New York City for 7th grade chorus, and New Jersey and New York City for the 8th and 9th grade jazz band.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any other discussion?
Music department is great.
Sorry?
I didn't hear you.
The music department is fantastic. The music department is fantastic. I love it.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So, I apologize, Director Farr. I didn't understand. Yes, absolutely.
All right, if there's no other discussion, we had did we have a motion yet? Oh, wait, we need a motion and a second, please?
No motion to approve. I thought we did that.
Motion approved.
Okay, second.
Any discussion?
I just want to point out, they do fundraise for these. This does not come out of the general
Right,
fund.
families pay their way and we do
Correct.
fundraising. Okay, roll call, please.
Dr. O'Shea?
Yes.
Dr. Pavola?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mrs. Eckert?
Yes.
Mr. Franco?
Yes.
Mrs. Goble?
Yes.
Mr. Greenlee?
Yes.
Mr. Farr?
Yes.
Mrs. Arnold?
Yes. All right, is there any opposition to lumping I, J, and K together? They're all contracts. The I would be the Conrad Siegel for our 2025 ACA employer reporting. The J would have the contract for some different student services that we contract with. Doesn't necessarily mean we have students at those places, but they offer a service that we may or may not need. We only pay if students get sent there. And then K is the dual enrollment agreement with the University of Scranton.
Motion to approve that.
Second.
That's a motion to
I,
approve
J, and K.
I, J, and K, okay.
Are they all existing contracts?
Yes, the one with Conrad Siegel for the Affordable Care Act reporting, that's the same vendor we've used for years. We're required to have an independent vendor to do that, and I don't think the cost has changed in years, right? The cost hasn't changed in years. The ones for student services, that's just our typical contracts that we approve almost monthly. If we send students to these locations, this is what we would charge, or this is what we would be charged. And the dual enrollment agreement is no cost to us. That's just so we can offer college credit as part of our high school credits through the University of Scranton.
Thank you.
I think we had a motion, do we have a second? Okay. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Dr. Carbola?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mrs. Eckert?
Yes.
Mr. Franco?
Yes.
Mrs. Goble?
Yes.
Mr. Greenlee?
Yes.
Dr. O'Sherrick?
Yes.
Mr. Farr?
Yes.
Mrs. Arnold?
Yes. There, I saved you half an inning, John. All right. The last, second to last item, the school academic calendar adjustment, a motion to make the day before the Easter holiday, April 1st, an early dismissal for students.
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mrs. Eckert?
Yes.
Mr. Franco?
Yes.
Mrs. Goble?
Yes.
Mr. Greenlee?
Yes.
Dr. O'Sherrick?
Yes.
Dr. Carbola?
Yes.
Mr. Farr?
Yes.
Mrs. Arnold?
Yes. All right, the last thing is the 2025 PSBA officer election. The ballot is a little bit wrong, but that's okay because it still works. If you're looking at this, there's really only 4 that you would need to vote for. The ones that say C1 or Central Zone, that's actually not for our area. We're in the Eastern Zone. So the only positions we need to vote on, and you vote individually, right? Or we don't do a vote together, it's individual votes.
Yep.
2026 president-elect, the candidate is Holly Arnold from the Tunkhannock Area School District. I hear she's terrible. And the 2026 vice president, a 1-year term, Matt Benoit from the Sharon City School District. He's in Western Pennsylvania, also a great guy. And then at the bottom there, the PSBA insurance trustees, it's a 3-year term. You choose 2, there are 2, Kathy Spoke and Roberta Marcus. So you can choose to vote for any or all of those 4 people that are on the ballots. And then just give those to Carolyn before you leave. All right, with that, do we have any public comment on agenda or non-agenda items?
Have you given any thought about the cell phone lock pouches? I understand, I've been talking with parents from other districts around in all the states around us, it's law now. And I hear Wyoming area is gonna go into it. And I'm hearing that it's picking up, the kids are doing much better, there's less carrying on, and their grades are improving by a lot by having these lock pouches for the cell phones during the school day. And I heard you talking about boilers in the admin. About 15 years ago, or whenever we went over and redid Mill City building, and at that same time, we had started talking about heat problems in the admin building. Well, I asked that engineer I says, what size boilers would it take for the admin building? He said it was 55 horse. I says, well, that's great. We have 2 boilers we're tearing out, but I had board members says, you can't put a used boiler in another building. But a little bit of history, when Tunkhannock merged with Falls Overfield, the boiler come out of that Falls Overfield building and went in Mahoopany until after Tunkhannock sold it, and it was still running strong. With that move, we'd have saved several $100,000, but I had people who don't understand maintenance said you can't do that. And not realizing tonight started later, I walked around, reunited, talked with a few of the teachers I have known for many years, and down to the shop, and I see they're going over and redoing a Farm All H tractor. Go Red Power. And what they plan to do with it, I won't spoil that surprise, but Mr. Doherty will tell you when the time comes. I was amazed.
Good evening, folks. I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Warren Howler. I'm the managing editor of the Rocket Courier in Wyalusing. I just wanted to come down and just introduce myself. Our paper is expanding into this area, and so we're going to be a presence here tonight and going forward. So I left business cards at each of your desks and tables, and I want to thank Paul for giving me a tour of the high school the last time I was here. In fact, I'm actually starting a drive to buy racing stripes for his golf cart. But again, thank you very much for having me. I just wanted to, again, introduce myself.
No, thank you for helping us get out the good word about the things that are happening in Tunkhannock. We're very proud of this district.
That's right. Appreciate your coverage. I'm a Wyalusing grad, so very good. Welcome. That's the end.
We're getting the...
Perfect. Motion to adjourn.
Chuck, it's like the bar.
I just wanted to like put out there.
2 a.m. last call.
He said
There
in a
goes
message.
again.
Right?
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to like clarify that Paul's golf cart was paid for by Paul.
That's
Right.
correct.
Paul
That's
has
important.
That's correct.
So no
to bob
rumors
around
begin.
campus. All right, do we have any other board comment? Any other public comment?
Second.
Motion. Meeting adjourned.